So the first part of the buying process is need recognition, sometimes called problem identification. I think I get those confused all the time back and forth. The point is that you can't solve a problem unless you recognize that you have a problem. Okay? And whether you recognize the problem, the need or the recognition that you have a problem, it can be either external or internal, and it can be either sudden or gradual. So for example, I had breakfast not too long ago. I'm starting to feel a little bit hungry. Anybody else feeling a little bit hungry? Yeah, I might be feeling hungry. I can tell it's there. That would be internal. On the other hand, if I happen to walk past a bakery and I smell Krispy Kremes hot and now, all of a sudden I'm hungry, right? That would be an external source, sometimes called a trigger, recognizing that I have a problem. Similarly with a cell phone is, they're coming out with the 7. Let me take a look at what the 7 has compared to the 6, and whether or not, or since I have Android, it really doesn't matter to me at all because I have the better product anyway. And, oh, please don't hit me. But again, and then when the 7 comes out, can I afford it? Can I switch it? What's the plan? But then if I drop my phone in a lake, I need a phone, right? Has anybody ever broken a phone? How long did you go before you replaced it? A couple weeks? A couple days, thank you. And that's because I was in the woods. It took me 2 days to hike out. But yeah, without a phone, I can't live. So if it breaks or if I destroy it, instant I have to. But if it's not broken, and I have known people, some of whom I'm married to accidentally break their phone because it worked just fine, but they wanted another one. Oops, need a new one. These things just don't last anymore. So another interesting thing is that dissatisfaction with a current product can trigger the need. I bought the 6, the screen just isn't big enough and Siri just isn't smart enough. I need something better, faster, and maybe a professional quality camera because my photography is professional quality and I deserve an instrument that reflects that. And the point is that when people complain about products, this is precious market insight because they think they're telling you what they don't like. But if you listen, what they're saying is, there's something I like better than is available to me right now. If you can provide that, then I will be a happier customer. So actually complaints are a great source of product ideas because customers are telling you what's not working, what is. And most customers will not complain. They won't tell you, but then they'll go on Facebook and tell everybody. And again, just because you recognize you have a problem doesn't mean you're going to solve it. Every time I look at my phone, I say I'm not going to buy a new one. I can drop out at any time. The next phase is to identify what your alternatives are. This is sometimes called the awareness set. I can't make a choice if I don't know what the choices are. So I recognize I have a problem. The next thing I do is say, okay, what are my alternatives? And this, we talked about this involvement. So how much effort we put into the search depends on how much is at risk, physical, social, and financial risk, and how difficult it is to get the information or how likely it is that the information that you get is going to be accurate. So all those go into that. There are 2 basic search strategies for finding information or identifying alternatives. One is internal search, which just means basically you look inside your brain and see what's there already, if it's there in memory. And then there's external search, where I actually make an effort to look for information. And now that you understand the concept of cognitive miserliness, which is our first choice? Internal, because it's easier, yes. If it's already there in the brain, I don't have to do any effort to get it. I just have to think, and even then, not very much, just enough to to recognize a thing. So again, this is a lot of the power of branding and positioning that we're talking about is if the solution is already in the customer's memory, they're not even going to look for anything else. First acceptable solution. I'm only going to look for information beyond what I already know if the alternatives that I've been able to identify through memory aren't good enough, in which case I will make the effort to look beyond myself. And again, we take the easiest path. What's the first place you look for information? Your friends, right? I get that all the time with people who are taking the class the 4th time, as my friend told me that I could do it this way. Google? You don't have any friends? Google is my friend. I know it's my research assistant. But yeah, friends or machine, depending on your level of socialization.